Hi, my name is Rosanna Micelotta Battigelli. I live in Sudbury as a settler on Robinson-Huron Treaty Territory, territory of the Atikameksheng Anishinaabeg, where I am privileged to create and share my work. Today, I'm happy to share an excerpt from my upcoming book, Pigeon Soup and Other Stories. It will be released on June 24th. Just a little something to explain the stories in this collection. The characters in this collection are embroiled in situations that test their limits when it comes to each other, outsiders, and themselves. They are navigating relationships and grappling with issues of translocation, language and identity, religion and culture, and food. These stories portray some of the dark places that the characters inhabit physically, emotionally, or metaphorically. They also deliver surprising twists that sometimes provide a flicker or even a bright beam of hope. The story I'm going to read from today is called Alligator Shoes. Sina was a pretty girl, although you could tell she didn't know it. Her gleaming chestnut hair was parted in the middle and hung down straight on either side of her face, except when she took off a sweater. Then the static would lift the silky strands up and around her, making her look like a mystical fairy, especially when the mid-morning sun beamed through our classroom windows. Sina had just moved to our neighborhood the week after school started. I lived close to her, 3 houses away, and our mothers had chatted on the street, delighted when they discovered they were both from southern Italy. Sina was short for Teresina, the diminutive and affectionate form of Teresa, spelled without the H. She'd come to school in her violet bell-bottom pantsuit or her polka dot dress with the puffy gathered sleeves, looking almost embarrassed. Her mother made all her clothes, she admitted shyly when I complimented her one day. She looked at me quizzically, as if she were trying to ascertain whether I was teasing her. This was before we became best friends. Weeks later, she was beaming when she showed me her new shoes with their shiny, faux alligator look, explaining that they were a gift from an aunt who was visiting from Italy. Sina got along with other kids in our 8th grade class, but something in her sensitive, hesitant manner brought out the worst in some of our classmates. One was a boy called Kevin. His moon-shaped face with its dark craters for eyes and bumpy complexion could have easily elicited an unkind remark or two from others. But somehow, even with all his aesthetic shortcomings, he was the first to zone in on any weakness in another student, physical or otherwise. Come to think of it, he often targeted the ones who were blessed with good looks, good manners, and good marks. Perhaps we were too afraid to do anything but laugh when Kevin flung a smart-ass remark at any of us, afraid that maybe he'd shove his platter of a face next to ours, skim us with a sandpaper cheek, and stare us down with his sunken eyes like hardened slag. Kevin was one of those kids who first gained their reputation in kindergarten, a reputation that worsened in each subsequent grade. I still remember an occasion when Kevin's mother came to pick him up. The teacher, Mrs. Lawson, had called to tell her that he had a fever. When his mother arrived, he started to bellow that he didn't want to go home, and then he proceeded to pummel her. I can still see him huffing and puffing while his mother just stood there looking perplexed and martyred, her arms out like she was praying. It was Mrs. Lawson who brought Kevin's pudgy little propeller arms to a halt and sternly informed him that little boys did not hit or hurt their mothers, and that sick little boys had to stay home to get better. She marched him out the door, his mother following meekly. In grade 8, Kevin wasn't any better. I remember exactly when he started in on Sina. It happened shortly after she had arrived in our class. "What kind of a stupid name is that?" Kevin had mumbled from the back row after the teacher had introduced her. Miss Morrison had shot him a warning glance as laughter erupted around him. In the weeks and months that followed, it became more and more apparent that Kevin was trying to get some kind of a reaction from Sina. Maybe he secretly wanted her to like him. Perhaps he thought that negative attention was better than no attention at all. But his teasing, which sometimes had crude connotations, only served to unsettle her. We'd talk about it after school, at her place or mine, while we did our homework. "He's such a creep. He'll never get married. Who'd want him?" One day in late spring, Sina got to class late. She was wearing a peasant dress with a turquoise paisley design. Kevin waited for Sina to pass by his desk. Then he leaned forward and lifted the edge of her dress.